Hi there, my name's Simon and I work for Limitless, which is Elim Church's National Youth and Children's Ministry. We turned to live streaming when COVID hit because our mission statement is to equip leaders, to inspire churches to raise up a limitless generation. And so we turned to live streaming on YouTube, on Zoom, on Facebook to do just that, get the message to them, to encourage them, to inspire them, and to ultimately equip them with everything that they need to carry on doing their job.
Okay, there we are. Sorry about that. Welcome to the fourth video in our live streaming series. This episode is titled, You're Going to Need to Unmute Yourself. I'm Matt from Novum AV, and today we're going to go through some brief tips of how to get the best out of your live streaming audio. So let's get straight into it. It's important to recognise first of all that audio for live streaming is different to audio within the room. If you were to bring in a professional broadcasting company, they would typically be bringing in an entire setup different to the mix within the room. They may take some of your microphone feeds, but they're going to blend in ambient microphones and mic things up very differently than perhaps we may do in the live environment. But for many of us, having that manpower on a Sunday and having those facilities, it just isn't viable. But there are some things that we can do to try and improve our audio. So first thing is consider the environment that you're going to be streaming in. Before you undergo any live stream or any broadcast, have a wander around your environment and listen for things that maybe could interfere with that clean, clear sound. Are the microphones too close to some squeaky chairs or a noisy boiler? And think about what you can do to mitigate those as much as possible before sending out your live stream. Okay, so on to number 2, try and get an output from your existing PA system. One of the most common things I get asked is, why does my live stream audio sound so far away? Now, a microphone in the middle of the room may give the impression that it will pick up everything that you're hearing, but this simply isn't the case. For most churches though, there is an easy solution to this. Try and take an output in between the mixer and the amplification. In most cases, this can be done via what's called a post-fade auxiliary send, which means that when that microphone is off in the room, the microphone is off for the live stream. But being post-fade auxiliary means we get a little bit of tweaking that we can do ourselves. Okay, and a side note here for you Zoom users. Inside your audio settings, you will see an option called Use Original Audio. What this is designed to do is to bypass all of those clever things that Zoom are doing with your audio, and it will give you the best possible signal without the anti-feedback, the removal of all the echo, and the auto gain structure. Click on that original audio and you will suddenly find that music will come through a lot clearer. Okay, and on to number 3, adding an ambient microphone. If you're able to, adding an ambient microphone to your live stream will give you a number of benefits. The first of which is picking up the natural noise of the room. Adding reverberation of the room will give a natural sense of location to those watching at home. We're often working in churches and not recording studios, so a direct sound can kind of give an unnatural impression. An ambient microphone will help you with this. The second of which is, in the event of your normal PA system breaking down, having that ambient microphone will allow the users and the listeners at home to still feel like they're in the room without being muted. And number 3, when the congregation do return to our churches, it's going to provide such a great atmosphere to those that are at home, they will feel so engaged with the worship. We very often see live stream with audio is out of time with the pictures. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Let's try that again. We very often see live stream where the audio is out of time with the pictures. Now, one of the most common causes of this is where video and audio information is being captured separately. It's really important to have the audio embedded at the point of the video, whether that's encoded by your PC or whether that's a hardware encoder. Now, what I mean by this is if you have a capture device for capturing pictures and a separate device for capturing the audio, the likelihood is that the two won't line up. And this is due to different clocks for their capture. Even if you manage to line up the audio at some point with the picture, the likelihood is over time they will fall out of sync with each other. To combat this, we always recommend using an audio input on your video capture device, or if it doesn't have one, using some form of audio embedder beforehand. This will enable you to have pictures and audio embedded at the same time. If for some reason you're still slightly adrift, you can adjust either the video or the audio delay settings. Most of the time this is the audio, to bring those back in line, but now because you have one single source, they will stay in time together. Okay, tip number 5, watch your microphone placements. Now, this isn't just applicable to live streaming, this goes for every single microphone usage. The basics are, if you want something to sound clear and with clarity, you bring that microphone close to the source. If you want something to sound airy and ambient, you move that microphone further away. If you have time, experimentation is key here. Watch out for instruments and voices that blow air directly into a microphone. We would always advise using a pop shield or a windshield in this case. So you may find some things that normally you wouldn't put a microphone in front of are actually needing some reinforcement for the live stream. This is quite common, so watch out for that. More often than not, we are asked to make provisions for choirs and organs. Now, in my experience, organists and choirs are very good at self-balancing, particularly where a choir master is present. So be really careful on placement here. Use experimentation, and often a pair of microphones placed in the right place may be all that's required. Okay, tip number 6, asking for feedback. We're all on a journey and live audio streaming is no different. If you think you've made it and you can't improve, it's time to quit. There's a balance to be struck here though. Firstly, it's really important to get honest evaluation from others, from your congregation and from your team. It's one of the best ways that we can help learn, upskill and improve. But it's also important not to throw out all methodical thinking and try to understand why somebody will hold that opinion. I used to have a member of the church who for years would always complain that they thought the violin wasn't quite loud enough in the worship. It wasn't until afterwards that we discovered that that person's playing was his wife. Try to get objective feedback rather than just, it was good. Things like, the volume of the preach was all over the place, it fluctuated too much, and I had to keep adjusting my laptop. Constructive criticism like that will help you improve vastly. Okay, and on to my last tip. If you're stuck, seek professional help. There are many great companies out there that serve the church by helping others with their audio-visual needs. I'd recommend reaching out to one of them, perhaps the guys that installed your original system. They may have a better understanding of the specific equipment that you have there. But please reach out to one of these companies. They are likely to have somebody who specialises in live streaming and can help you improve your audio for your stream. Okay, so that's all I've got time for now today. But remember, if you are struggling, you are more than welcome to give us a call here at Novum, and we will always do our best to help you out. Thanks very much for watching. Bye-bye.
Nothing beats sitting on it, hearing it, tasting it, wearing it, handling it, trying it, comparing it.
The copier produces 1,000 copies for £4. The Riso digital printer produces 1,000 copies for £1.20 at 140 pages per minute.
Discussing it.
Interesting thing about this centre is it's a very difficult breed on a very small site.
Buying it. Recommending it. I definitely recommend it.
It's always good to have resources, and yeah, this is very resourceful, so it's a great place to be.
Nothing beats being here. Buy your tickets online now. creonline.co.uk/tickets.